Hey photographers, do you need a video capture monitor? This is the Suikui, and I hope that's an acceptable pronunciation, RH35. It records an incoming video signal from its HDMI input. Now there are two details on the front of the box: 1080p, that's its maximum resolution, and unlimited recording. Back to that later. Now, it's a small and light device. It has a screen, controls on top, and full-size HDMI in and out. Yes, it's inexpensive, and its appearance reflects that. The device was sent to me to review, and as with most products from China, they don't want it back. I was not paid to do this, and this video was created and posted without their input. I often show you the camera screen, like this, in a video. That enables you to see the settings I'm using. Most cameras now have HDMI connectors and can provide both the info screen as well as a clean screen without the display. So I've switched to and am now recording on the RH35. I'm going to turn off the info display. So this video is recorded and posted in 1080 HD, as that's the maximum resolution of this device. And because it's small and light, it's much more practical to take along for out-of-studio photography. The bigger Atomos usually stays home. So more portable, yes, but make no mistake, the RH35 does not replace an Atomos recorder in any except the most basic way. Atomos is a pro device. This is far from it. However, its size and price mean that there are probably other potential uses for this device. The box suggests phone, game, and medical recording. Now, the kit includes a small plastic case, a full-size HDMI cable — most cameras use smaller size HDMI — and a USB power cable. You provide the USB power adapter. The RH35 uses micro SD cards in a slot on the right side. An 8 GB card is included. The unit can be powered with a standard NPV battery or a DC input. When it has power, there's a slight red glow beside the round record key. The unit powers on with a key on the backside, which is sadly right beside the battery release, so you have to turn it over to make sure which you're pressing. Now, other than the screen, there's no power on indicator. The same key also turns it off with a 15-second warning not to remove the power supply. The RH5's small screen, a diagonal of 8.5 centimeters, is about the same size as the screen on your camera. Its resolution is 800 by 480, and its 600 nits are pretty bright. On a sunny day, even with sunglasses on, I only had to increase the brightness and contrast slightly from the default 50 settings to see the image clearly. Those settings are found in the menu's Video section. The System section has configuration options, but those don't include Format. The Function section controls the custom settings of the function keys on top. Back to those later. Now, press the round key to record. Confirmation appears on screen. Now, I'd prefer an LED or similar to indicate a recording is in progress. I'd also like some indication of either how long it's been recording or the amount of time left on the card. And battery status. There's no indication of how long the battery will last. Now, also, patience is required, as it can take a minute or two before the unit is ready to record. Before that, pressing the button does nothing. No error messages. But sadly, you cannot access the menu while the unit is recording, and the menu has no recording options. It records 1080 at 60 frames using H.264 codec at a data rate of about 12 megabits. For recording screens, it's fine, but these are soft, low-quality recordings. And in addition to 1080i, 720 is supported. Frame rates for 720 are 50 and 60, 1080 from 24 to 60. Again, those aren't settings. That's the unit reacting to the input it's receiving. Now, recordings are saved in 30-minute chunks, about 2.5 gigabytes each. When it runs out of space, it stops recording. An 8 gigabyte card holds about 90 minutes. In my dictionary, that's a little short of unlimited. Now, incidentally, there's no way to set the date on the unit, so although files are sequentially numbered, They're all date stamped December 31, 1979, 11 p.m. The unit gets quite hot, but it didn't overheat. And if the RH5 loses an incoming signal, like when I turn the camera off, it stops recording. When you turn the camera back on, recording seems to resume because the screen indicator is on. Animus does that. It's a useful feature. However, with the RH35, sometimes it's actually recording, but often it's not. I found that I can't count on this, so now stop recording before turning off the camera. Sometimes the camera's power saver gets there before I do. Then press the record key twice to stop, once more to start. My general comment here is that it has not been sufficiently tested for real-world scenarios, or possibly the development team simply dismissed those use cases. That means it's less reliable than I'd like and often locks up, requiring a battery or power removal to restart. Granted, it's usually when provoked by unplugging HDMI or restarting the camera. Now, a limited and incomplete manual is on the included microSD card, and I say incomplete because there's no mention of the function key settings. There are 2 function keys which can be assigned in the menu, and the available functions are peaking, zebra, histogram, audio meters, false color, exposure assist, guides, crosshair, grids, and zooming. Pick 2. Peaking turns on and off. A long press activates a settings menu with a factor or detection level setting. Zebra has both shadow and highlight settings. Shadow sets from -7 to 109. Highlight has the same range. Histogram is a good size. Audio meters appear at the side. The false color exposure assist displays the color range at the bottom. Exposure assist is a variation on Zebra that uses color to indicate over and under with the same -7 to 109 setting range. A range of guides provides safe area and aspect ratios with both black or translucent borders. Crosshairs can be big or small, black, white, red, green, or blue. It can be moved up and down or sideways. There are 10 grid options, also black, white, red, green, or blue. The expanded view focus assist has 9 sectors for a zoomed-in view. Now, after trying them all, my overall impression is that they're useful, but likely don't provide much benefit to the vast majority of you. And these are pro-like features, but that does not make this a pro device. Activating them and using them is awkward and clumsy, but they are available. And press the play key to see a list of your recordings. Now recording time is displayed. The back key skips back 10 seconds. The forward key skips forward 10 seconds. No fast forward or rewind. And press the record key to return to recording mode. I'm not sure it's fair, but let's compare a 4K ProRes LT recording with a data rate of 730 megabits from Animus to the RH35's H.264 12 megabits. The RH35's colors are dull and the recording is a little soft. And while there's clearly a difference, it's not as dramatic as you might expect. Suikui sent me a firmware update. The original software was v1.211.214.22.33, and the update file must be on a USB drive, and the RH35 did not recognize it. I tried the zip file, the entire folder, and the update file itself without success. But after I removed the USB key and turned the unit on again, it updated on its own. It's now at v1.220.427.22.33. I'd give you a link to the update, but it's not on their website. Now, my summary here is that if you have a use for a reference recorder, this may be a good addition to your kit. At the price, your expectations can't be high, but it does actually work. And if you can put up with the quirks and limitations, it can be a useful device. Because it's small and light, I'm going to use it for screen recordings at times where I'd otherwise leave the Adamus at home because of its size and weight. And as I said, I've not been paid to create this video. Suikui did not review anything before I posted this video, but I do get to keep the RH35. My sponsors are those of you who have decided to support this channel by becoming members. Thanks to you, there are no ads, neither ones that I read, or YouTube interruptions. And I'm very thankful to my members. However, I don't post any content exclusively for members, and I do reply to all relevant questions and civil comments. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.